Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to our family service for today. It's nice to have everyone here and there joining us for service, and we look forward to enjoying all the aspects of the service together. Reflecting upon these video services that we have been providing and aspects of it you get accustomed to, and still other parts of it you never really get used to. I really miss everyone actually being here in the Hondo, and it's kind of like, I don't know, some of you might remember an old TV show called with Miss Nancy, and she would hold up this magic mirror and it would be just a hoop, and she could see everyone who's out there in TV land, and kind of gets that sense. I see Diane, I see Claire, I see Jackie and Howard and all these people, and it's imagining, hoping that I would see them, kind of envisioning the people that would actually be here, people that I remember from past services and that have contributed in different ways, and we've worked on so many things, and these people come to mind. Everybody comes to mind, and so you kind of need to create this setting where everyone is actually there, but in your imagination, and then you interact with them and speak with them. So a little bit, it's been a couple years already in doing these video services, and one more month of these types of video services that are recorded and then edited and then provided. In February, we're going to be doing a different YouTube format, so there'll be growing pains and adjustments with that as well. But kind of enjoyed going through this process and providing these services at the same time, missing so much of what we have become accustomed to, and actually being able to be with each other at a service. So today I would like to introduce you to our chairpersons for this service. Yes, serving as our chairpersons for today, we have young ones. Today we have Imposter Bear, Bunny Baby, and BabyTag-a-long. So today we had a little bit of difficulty because no one had signed up, volunteered to serve as our chairperson. So I realized just before service that we didn't have a chairperson for today's service. So I went outside and saw three of them, young ones, running around and playing in the yard. And I said, "Hey, I need some help. Can you guys help me?" And they just froze in their tracks, stopped playing, and they just stared at me. I said, "Come on, I need some help. I don't have a chairperson, and maybe you could be the chairpersons for this service." And they didn't move. They just stared at me. And finally, "Come on, I need help." So they all ran up the stairs coming to the temple, and so told them what was up, that I don't have a chairperson today, so if they could come up to the podium and welcome everybody and do all these things, and they would contribute to the service and be able to help Sensei out. So, okay, we can do that. Okay, so three of them, they didn't want to come up alone, so they each convinced each other to help out, and it's very nice to see that no matter what age, they have some understanding that the temple functions by people contributing and helping out, doing different things, and you're not always comfortable to do certain things. You're not always feeling like you are proficient or expert at doing something, but a hand is needed, so you just step in and do something, And so these are a perfect example of doing exactly this. And I think when young ones come to the microphone, they get accustomed to that little by little. They understand what it is to speak at a podium, at a mic. So later on, junior high, high school, college, and beyond, they become a little bit better public speaking, a little bit more comfortable to be placed in that kind of setting and not so struck by stage fright. So here they are, little young to be wearing masks and things, but they do want us to continue to be cautious and safety conscious. And so they are ready for service. They have their onenji. They are ready for service. I'd like to go over our service order for today. We'll begin with the reading of the three treasures, and then the Raisanmon, the three treasures in Japanese. Then I'll take my seat upon the altar, and today we'll chant Sambujo and Juseige. Then Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of our service, and then I'll return for our Dharma message for today. So with that, let us begin. Hopefully you have set up and are prepared for the readings and for the sutra chanting. Even though we can't see each other, I think it's always very good to be able to participate in service rather than just watching, but to actually engage yourselves in our service. Okay? So with that, we will begin. Please join me in the reading of the three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Raisanmon. Ninjin ukegatashi imasure ni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasure ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte rosezumba. Sarani izure no sho ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu modo tomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Asani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni daido taige shite mujo yo okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni fukaku kyozo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Mujo jinjin mimyo no Howa 100,000 万号にも愛をことかたし、我山県門始十字することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てますらん。ナモアミダウツ、ナモアミダウツ、ナモアミダウツ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。三部上、中世芸。 情報集中説法し しく供養一切物具足習得本観念心情満特異三害用女分無下地自然未不詳感覚エリ投資最小損志願薬効果大聖の感動国書天人当珍妙形Good morning again, everyone. Nice to have you here. I'm enjoying this service today. Today I thought I would talk about bringing the light. Please join me as I read this Wasan. The light of wisdom exceeds all measure, and every finite living being receives this illumination that is like the dawn. So take refuge in Amida, the true and real light. Namo Amida Otsu, Namo Amida Otsu, Namo Amida Otsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. This Wasan is from the Hymns of the Pure Land, and it tells us that the light of wisdom, the Dharma, exceeds all measure. The infinite light of Amida is received by each one of us and every living being. It's like the sun rising in the morning, warming the earth, allowing plants to grow, revealing what was hidden by the darkness of the night, awakening us to move and work and share and live. We're urged and reminded to take refuge in Amida, the true and real light that sustains, supports, and awakens us all. So today I wanted to talk about the light. A couple years ago, before the pandemic, my brother Ken Fujimoto had been serving as the Rinban of the San Jose Betsuin, and he was retiring. Very timely to be retiring before all this pandemic mess started. But they had a gathering, to recognize his efforts and time at the Betsuin. And so the other minister, Reverend Sakamoto, there was talking about Reverend Ken, and they're relationship together, working together at the Betsuin, and he was reflecting on one of the talks that my brother had given, and in it was the phrase, "Bring the light." And I don't remember what the occasion was for that talk, maybe a field trip of people had come to the temple or something like that. I'm not certain, and I never heard the talk myself. I never asked my brother about it. But as Sakamoto Sensei was introducing Ken, he talked about this talk and mentioning the phrase, "bringing the light." And so after that, since that time, every time I prepare the onaijin, lighting the candles, getting everything ready for a service, I find myself telling myself, "Bring the light, bring the light." Even if I'm getting ready for Sunday service and I'm the only one that's going to be here, I light the candles and I remember that and I think about that. Bring the light, bring the light, bring the Dharma to everyone, even if it's only to me. Bring the light. And so this talk resonates with me and encourages me in all these reflections. I think of Ken. I think of my father. I think of all the other ministers preparing their temples, their temple altars, maybe around the bay and everywhere else. So I'm connected to all these ministers who have served BCA, all the overseas regions, all throughout Japan, other schools of Buddhism, all over the world, throughout time and space. And so when I think about bring the light, I think about the Dharma just moving forward, coming forward. Even Shakyamuni Buddha, earlier this month, awakening on Bodhi Day and struggling. Should I keep this to myself or should I share this with others? And as he decided to share it with others, bringing the light, the movement, initial movement of the wheel of Dharma moving towards all beings, moving through time, through space, to touch and reach everyone. So this is the light moving forward, right? And so when I think about these things, I don't feel valuable or pompous that I'm doing this all-important job. It's more like I'm humbled to be a part of this process. So when I think about that aspect, the head goes down, not up. So to bring the light is to join in this process of wisdom and compassion, moving towards all others. And we each do this, right? People all over participate and contribute in many different things, in many different ways. But here, we're talking about the Dharma to come to greater truths about our lives so that we can function fully, to be full and complete in our human lives, okay? And so people who are working in this manner towards the Dharma, we find them clustered at our temples. You think about the onaijin, not just lighting the candles, but other people are involved to prepare the altar flowers, to prepare the settings, bringing in fruits, providing fruits, and even these things, the fruits and flowers, not only the people making the arrangements, but so many others growing the flowers, bringing them to market, all these things, the sun growing the flowers, the sun growing the rice to prepare the obukpan and the fruits, all these things, whole process going on to complete the onaijin, make it a setting that reflects the Pure Land to each of us, seemingly perfect realm, right? And not only the onaijin, even the kitchen at the temple, after service is done, we go and maybe enjoy some tea, senbei, cookies or something, and each of these things are provided by the members so that we can be warm and comfortable and have a setting so we can talk to each other, visit with each other, and acknowledge each other, to feel warm and wanted and connected, interconnected. All these things happen. Tea is served. Sometimes people rush from the service setting to the kitchen to prepare all these things. Have the hot water going, pour it into our teapots, bring them out, bringing the cups, bringing plates for the food, setting out the food very enticingly. All these things happen. And then other occasions, our fundraisers, bazaars, all these things, people work for days in advance, weeks in advance, months in advance to get things ready so we can create some funds so this temple can continue. And all these things are so many different ways where people are able to contribute to bring the light of the Dharma. So we bring the light, we prepare the setting where others are able to encounter the Dharma, perhaps for the first time, perhaps reaching people that we don't even know. We might even not even know that their encounter of the Dharma might be long after we pass away. But through our efforts today, this process to bring the light continues to reach the next and the next and the next. And it's kind of like, seeing the cartoon strip where the light bulb goes off and we get this idea, but we get this effect of the light coming to us. Hey, this is good. And we remember, we react, okay? And we respond. Maybe we serve the tea next time instead of having us being served. Maybe we donate to the temple instead of just receiving the benefits of the temple, okay? We help by removing the hindrances to the flow of light, continuing to reaching others, touching others. In this manner, we move from benefit of self to benefit of others. And this is the Bodhisattva path in the everyday world. So when I think of bringing the light, lighting the candles just alone, or thinking of the temple, and we have this whole sangha, a whole army of people making the effort to bring the light to the next and the next, then it makes such a warm feeling that I'm a part of, we're all a part of this very special, honorable process. So thank you. Please join me again as I read this Wasan. The light of wisdom exceeds all measure, and every living being receives this illumination that is like the dawn. So take refuge in Amida, the true and real light. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts today. Thank you for being here, and maybe we're all able to be a part of this light, and particularly today, we can acknowledge each other, and particularly all of those who worked to provide the service today, today's flowers, today's fruits, today's service chair people who volunteered abruptly from outside playing, and everyone who was able to participate in this service. Thank you to the people who are recording and providing this, editing the video and providing the link for all of us to be able to be a part of this service today. So now we will conclude with offering of incense. So please prepare to do so at your homes, however you have set up to do. And I will light this incense here at our temple, and we will conclude. Okay, so please join me again in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Namanda, 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 Namanda.